I am live. Good evening out there. How's everybody? Tonight is open mic, so we can talk about anything. Um, if you know me, I'm on YouTube. My name's Brenda, and sometimes I talk about isolation, or we could talk about Social Security. That's a subject in its own. We could talk how you're feeling about any topic, really. I'm open. They want to open soon, but because, the virus is spreading faster and going up, and we have to be careful about that. Something I'm doing, for sure. I know some people said they wanted to see more of my apartment. But not every. Some things are just private. Um, I was supposed to post that I'm chatting and when, and I forgot to do that. I just felt like it. Um, I'm working on my book. I really need to get that finished. I'm procrastinating. I still have a front tooth situation. Not a good time to see a dentist. I want to thank everybody that subscribed and leaves beautiful comments for me. Oh, thank you so much, my mom. Thank you. How are you? I appreciate that. I'm going to register with the Library of Congress under inspirational books. But I need to get busy. Yes, just sometimes I need a push. What am I doing for a living now? I'm 62 and I'm retired. Um, I miss working and I loved working, but it's between the doctors and Department of Rehab and everyone else, they just said, I'm finished with that. I did my share. My book is work. Keeping my apartment up is plenty of work. Cooking, cleaning. I'm glad you're good. Where you at? What location? Evelyn, hello. So good to hear your voice or see your name. Hey, how are you? I tie-dyed some clothes during isolation, and I even dyed my hair. Just kept going. Just thinking of things to do and keeping occupied. Of course, I read the Bible and talk to God on a regular basis, but yes, I am so blessed. Thank you, Evelyn. I am truly. And I know it, and I'm so thankful for it. Believe me. Very, very grateful. Yes. But I showed a little bit more of my place. I know some people said they wanted to see some more, and I said I would show some more. I'm not going to give a full tour, but I showed some more. Yes, yes, I am. I decided to stream. I just enjoy talking to the people, and we could talk about anything. We could talk about Social Security. We could talk about the Bible. We could talk about isolation, depression, anything. I'm open for anything anybody wants to talk about. But believe me, I am so thankful. And God knew this was coming. And, I'm pretty sure if I would have still been on the streets of New York City, I would have been a casualty. I did have pneumonia and the flu and was in the hospital at Mount Sinai. So I'm truly blessed. thankful for it. How well, I, it was, of course, the Spirit of God and Jesus and my surrendering to Him that I came through my difficulties. But I don't want to talk about that in particular too much. Oh, thank you so much, Nana. But only reason I don't want to talk about that too much is my book entails detail of so much, like journals and a daily basis. And most of the years are in San Diego, California. And in fact, uh, many of the people that are in a choir in San Diego, California, I just watched it. I think they were just on America's Got Talent, and they were put through. They got the golden buzzer, and I knew many of them. I not real closely, but I knew them. Was familiar. In fact, one little part shows me pushing my wheelchair. I just had my hair cut, like to here, and you'll see me pushing my wheelchair, and I walk in like a very short part of that when they're on the steps singing. But I cried when I saw that. It was like I'm like I do have PTSD, and because of what I went through for all those years, I have so much pain that I'm releasing. There's just a lot you got to let go of and let out, and you know, it's tough. Sometimes you have survivor's guilt. Why didn't everybody else get a place? It's tough. I'm not a selfish person, but I am grateful. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, New York City, I have to say, is 10 times more difficult than California, all the way around, not just weather-wise. It's just, I mean, New Yorkers really need prayer, very much prayer. And oh man, that about did me in. It was rough. Oh, thank you so much, Nana. I'm proud of that. always, always have a big heart. Yes. But I have 214 neighbors, and we have to wear masks. We only they closed the community rooms. We only share basic areas, and we have to wear masks. And someone in the building does have it. They did have to post it. And so, with seniors and disabled, it can get pretty scary. So I do bleach my apartment a lot, and I have to leave because I do that, and pray about it a lot and thank God a lot. Oh, yeah, God is my rock, my refuge. Oh, yeah. And, I really think we're at the time in life where you better make the choice. I think, without going into the religion, it's time to make a choice. I believe we may have begun the tribulation or the rapture. I believe this is where he's going to separate the sheep and the goats. Yeah, I read a lot, but the thing is, I have to reread a lot because it doesn't stay with me real good. I have to read it over and over, or Google what was the scripture about such and such, or yeah, happens. Oh yeah, yeah. That God is everywhere. That's why I don't worry about going to a church or to a facility. It's nice to congregate, but I know that I talk to him morning, noon, and night. I mean, the first thing I do every morning when I get up after I thank him and get out of bed is I play Christian songs and worship him through song and praise. And I do that. And then I read the Bible, and I talk to him all the time. It's the best one to talk to. That way I don't have to talk to myself, that's for sure. And And it's important. It gives me peace and keep that communication open. I think if you don't, that the dark side will try to grab you. Because if you read the paper and you read the articles of what's going on out here, there's some crazy, crazy stuff happening. Real crazy. So, oh, okay, I'll look him up. I usually listen to Pentatonics and John Hagee Ministries. And I just, there's a new guy I was just listening to that sings good songs too. Um, can't think of it right now. Yeah, yep, yep. Oh yeah, I knew it. There were times that a situation might happen that you would think, oh, just so unexpected and so out of the ordinary, and you just walk right through it. You glide right through it, and it's, and then you, but yeah, stuff over there. I do have a nice place. I'm very content. I wasn't able to get a car, but maybe someday. But I take walks. I can only walk about as half as far as I used to walk. I used to walk pretty far. But I'm glad because there was an article that two black bears were seen up by the schools, and that's where I used to walk. So I'm glad I'm not walking that far. But walking raises my blood pressure too, so I have to be careful walking far because that's my injury is walking impairment, chronic pain, and I'm slow. I'm real slow. But I go. I'm a turtle. But wow, you guys, it's so nice to see your names over there. And how are Yuns doing? Yuns good? Everybody good? We have a lot to be thankful for. I mean, we don't have bombs going off inside of our neighborhood like Israel. We don't have like Chernobyl where we need a gas mask. We can wear a cloth mask. Um, we have a lot of. Oh, okay, yeah, Oh, yeah, yeah. Careful, Nana. Yeah, yeah, the bears. It's like, I can't run into that one. Maybe Yogi Bear, give him a picnic basket, huh? But I watch old movies. I don't know if you're familiar with Tubi TV, Tubi TV. It's free TV, and it doesn't have commercials. And you can watch like shows from back in the day, Petticoat Junction, Family Affair, um, Flipper, all the old shows, and Jerry Lewis movies, Dean Martin movies, comedies. Yeah, you're comparing poo. But yeah, I get a little lonely once in a while, but most of the time I'm not. I try to keep there, do some work or something. Yeah, the Partridge Family. I think that might be on Tubi. That might be on there. It was like all the shows, like Beverly Hillbillies are on there. I think Timmy and Lassie. Um, but I used to get Netflix, and then I just cut them off. I quit getting them. If I love Heartland. I was watching Heartland the series, but it seems like every time I started watching a series, they would email me and say, "Hurry up and watch it because we're taking it off now." And that happened like three different series, and I was like, "Oh, forget it. Forget it." McHale's Navy. Oh yeah, Better Times. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those those were the good days, though. I mean, life was pretty simple. 60s, 70s. Everybody's parent was working, but he had a little something, something. It was pretty simple. I think it was pretty good then. But I think our life for now has changed forever. I think it is. The weather has been good. I mean, it was so hot like 2 days ago. I was like, I think I got sunburned just walking a block. It was almost 80. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that no, I think that the Rifleman in that is on Tubi TV. I believe they are. Yeah, I think they're on there. And I just want to thank everybody that's been so kind and keeps in touch. And I love doing that. That's my communication. That's where I feel my hugs. It's really, I appreciate it. And I check it, see anybody else say anything. Or I try to, tell you when I was supposed to say, hey, I'm going to stream, but I didn't. It was kind of last second because I actually was trying to do a stream, and then I was doing the webcam, and then the stream, and I was getting it mixed up. And next thing I know, it says you're live, and I'm like, oh, okay, I figured it out. So, oh, the name, oh, sure, it's TUBITV, all one word, .com. Tubi TV, and it's free, and it you get to watch everything entirely. I love it. Yeah, someone that lives here told me about it. I really like it. There's another one, doesn't have as much, but it's called uh, Film Rise, and it has like 21 Jump Street, Unsolved Mysteries, that kind of thing. And there's another one, but I have it written down somewhere. I'll have to find it. There are a couple of them out there, but Tubi TV is the best one. It's great, really good. Because I'm not paying $180 a month for cable. It's not going to happen. That's it's just I'm not going to do that, and I can't, and I'm not going to anyway. So, I do some coloring. I like to do where they have black and white pages. I like to do with black ink pen in black and white pages instead of color with crayons or color on the app. I haven't tried the app yet. Yeah, yeah. 21 Jump Street is on the Film Rise is on there. Yes. Hmm. Yeah, cable, forget about. I remember, I know things have changed. I am 62, but I can remember being like 7, and they would have cable Toys for Tots. You got like cable for like $7 with no installation. I mean, come on. Oh, hi, Jake. Oh, we'll be happy to pray for you. Sure. Jake Linden. Sure. Linden. Yeah, sure. God bless you. I know. I know all about that hunger and the cold and the tired. And oh, you were born in 52, Nana? I was born 58. 58. Just a few years later. But those were good years. Good years. The world had a lot of connections, connections as far as either music or events going on in the world. It was just people were willing to connect in a good way, you know. It's just a good time. So anyway, did anyone go to a picnic or have a get together for the Memorial Day? Or I know the beaches were crowded. I think it's okay to go there if you social distance. You just got to scatter out a little further than usual. Oh yeah, 50s and 60s. Yeah, I'm pretty much a homebody. You know, especially after being outdoors for what 7, Yeah, 7.5 years, 7.5 years. Yeah, definitely a homebody. I go out, but just to like take a walk or get my medicine, or I do go to a little neighborhood grocer and I'm comfortable going there. And that's about it. I mean, I don't have a car and I won't ride. I'm leery about riding the bus because it stops at Hershey Medical Center and there's so many cases. Pennsylvania is really polluted. We're really rising. And just, you know, I'm not comfortable. I told my niece, she lives a few hours away. I said, well, when they open up, I'm going to ask you to wait probably a month, after to see how I want to take a look at things before, have someone come and spend the night here. So I'm not anxious, but I understand people have to work. They have to have money. I don't know if the government's going to take care of people for that time. I don't know. It's bad if they open too soon, but it's bad if they don't open. I understand both sides of the coin, but I don't believe it's about taking away our freedom personally. I feel it's about health and safety. A lot of people say, oh, that many died from the flu every year or back in this year and that year. And it's like, well, then take your mask off and go do what you want and see what happens. You know, I, it could be a plague, you know, um, to wake people up and say, hey, get right, fly right. But I don't want it, that's for sure. I'm praying I don't get it. I wear my masks. I have several, about six. And I, wash them with a little bit of Clorox. Clorox lady. Call me Mrs. Clorox. I guess we're all turning into, what was his name? Howard Hughes. I'll turn into Howard Hughes and have gloves on and be germaphobes. But then the downside to that is you have to figure is the downside to being a germaphobe is your body has to have some germs to build up antibodies to fight those germs. So, you know, got to be a little careful with that too. So, oh, wow. Yeah, see, now I won't see a doctor. Definitely should be seeing a doctor, but I will not. That- Not until things clear. I just will not. That's There's just too much going on. That I won't do. But yeah, I there's a lot of people in this building that haven't left their apartments. I haven't seen them at all. It's like they don't even live here. And they do. But yes, the news, maybe in the evening or every couple days I'll Google local news or USA news, and I'll look through stories and pick certain ones I want to see. But there's some that, oh gosh, just horrible stuff going on. It's every sign of the Book of Revelation. I don't care what anybody says in Deuteronomy. It's just there. It's there. But yeah, I'm the type that rather better to be safe. And I mean, we have people out here that are saying, well, if you think you're being safe, you're just don't care about your freedom. I don't feel as if my freedom's been taken away. Oh, God bless you, Nana. I'll pray for you. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh my, yeah, you have to be very careful. I had a friend in San Diego that had that. Very sweet lady. Very sweet lady. Yeah, Book of Daniel. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably read this evening for a while. Some nights I'm in bed at 10, 11, and some nights I'm up till 4 a.m. It depends, if I took a nap or how my energy is. But I've been eating a lot of kale greens and spinach. They're really good for you. So I eat my pastas and I eat my burgers, but I've been eating a lot of greens. Important. Lucky to be able to have them because I bought a pot roast the other day. It was $23. Yeah, Amos, I'm familiar with that too. But I was like $23 for a pot roast. Usually it was like 12 or 13. Yeah. Yeah, maybe some night we could do a Bible study on here on chat. Fine with me. Anybody wants to do that, we could do that. I'm all with good keeping it right. There is a meat shortage, but here's the thing I wonder in the back of my mind is when they say, well, we're closing this Tyson plant because the workers have COVID, or we're closing this poultry place because of COVID and this pork place. Is the meat safe? Is it safe? Yeah, Bible study, sure. We could book one up. I am all for that. I love that. Love that. We would do that on the streets in San Diego. We had it. The students from San Diego State University would come every Friday, and every other Friday we would sit and go through scripture and prayer. And here's something really interesting. After my accident, I couldn't move anything on my left foot, as well as the nerve damage that was done. And about 2 years into it, I guess, like 2013. And a student from SDSU said his name was Colin. He said he was from China, and he said he was becoming a Christian. He was changing over to Christianity. And I said, well, I'm glad to hear that. I said, I think that's wonderful. And I think he planned his future in the States. And he had a Bible study one Sunday afternoon, and he said, can I pray for your injury? And I said, sure. And I tell you, it wasn't 3 days. I tell you, 3 days. And I'm like, my toes are moving. And I'm like, but that's my bad leg. And they've moved ever since. I mean, I kept calling around. I'm like, you got to tell him, where's he at? I couldn't wait to tell him it. That's true story. Amazing. But yeah, that started moving. Oh, sure. Go ahead and do what you're doing, Nana. I don't know how, no one has streamed to me yet. So, I mean, you know what I mean? I guess I don't know how that works on the other end. Yeah, God does heal. Yeah. I suffer. I mean, I have chronic pain. There's days I don't want to get out of bed or take a walk, or I won't do much around here. I have my days, but everybody does. We have good days and bad days. And the fact that I'm still walking is great. You know, I have much more than many, much more than many. But we are rich in spirit, and that's spiritual life, and that's what counts. That's what we need. That's what matters. It will get us through. It will get it through anything. I'll just briefly talk about one or two stories about San Diego. Um, there was a period of time where um, we sleep. I slept in a camp, about 10 of us, and great people. Uh, we really looked out for each other. It wasn't worried, oh, he's going to steal my stuff, or the one guy had to go to work. I would watch his stuff. I wouldn't get in his stuff. His stuff was safe. We were like that with one another. We would go our separate ways during the day, and then we all were at our camps at night, men and women. Very, very good people, and um, no drinkers or users. We just, older, didn't want to be bothered, that kind of people, I guess. And just sleep. We'd go to bed 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And for a period of time, someone was going around. I mean, this happened within 3 blocks of where we slept, and they were stabbing the homeless person in the upper torso and setting them on fire. And I mean, if that doesn't shake a nerve, believe me, it does. It does. Because I sleep with both eyes closed. You know, a lot of people slept with one eye open. No, I slept with both. I'm sleeping, I'm tired. And fatigue is part of my health. And uh, I I just really couldn't believe it. And you know, one night we had got moved from our camp, so we had to go to a parking lot that was sort of on a slope, and we're on the slope of the parking lot, the sidewalk outside of the parking lot. And it was late at night, and a club had left out, and there were like six big guys across the street. I guess they're waiting for their ride. And what did they yell over? Oh, that looks like a good barbecue over there. Ionessa. I mean, there were times that, you know, it plays with you. It plays with you. You know, if you're not strong, forget about it. It will take you down real quick. It plays with you. And it was the saddest thing. I think altogether there were six or seven that he had murdered. But here's the worst part is that he lived in a building with homeless people, the person that was doing this. And that was the part that was like made your skin crawl, you know. But they did eventually get him. But I think that happened in Chinatown in New York not too long ago too. There was, you know, a lot of people are very rude and don't have compassion for homeless people. You know, think, oh, they're the scum of the earth, they're worthless, they're lazy, and it's not true. It's not true. It really isn't. It's, you know, everybody has circumstances. You know, there is no perfect Barbie life or Barbie doll. You know, there's circumstances that can alter someone's life or unforeseen, you know, just like people that get sick. I mean, that's got to be the worst to have a terminal disease or some. I have something going on that I'm not going to discuss, but I won't take treatment. I won't take chemo. I won't take treatment. But I'm not going to get into that. I probably shouldn't even have mentioned that, but it's just something I'm living with on my faith. That's how I feel about that. But anyway, but yeah, you always, I've heard stories out there that I've cried to where you just, wow. And you know how they say, listen to someone else's problem because your life will seem like a bowl of cherries. That is so true. That is so true. You listen to someone else, you're like, boy, am I fortunate. But I have to say, I, without a doubt, was so blessed through my journey. And I saw the video the other night of, um, there weren't any of my campmates, you know, and I still call one my campmates in California. Um, but they were people that I'd stayed at. They had a huge tent, and there were like 100 bunk beds for women and 150 bunk beds for men. It was really big, and that was a tough. It was pretty nasty. And the people I saw in the video were from there, and it just really hit a heartstring with me, and I just cried. It just the hardest part about my journey out there was seeing the ones that couldn't, that weren't capable of doing what I could do. I think that that's what really stays with me is, you know, you just wish they were stronger. You wish they were stronger. And it's just like, I saw people that couldn't take care of themselves. I saw people that had open wounds on their leg this size to the muscle, to the meat, to the bone, and was pushing a cart with what they had, what they owned. And it's like, how can you even do that? when I saw that, I went around the corner and I broke down. I could not. In fact, I think a lady was rude to me in New York City. And I prayed to God and I prayed to God and I said, God, what is my purpose? What is it? I really need to know what is it I'm supposed to do? What is it you want from me? And I really think he said to me, Brenda, I'm not looking at you. I need you to be there because I'm looking at the people's hearts as they walk by you. And I swear that's what his answer to me was. And I believe, because the ones that go back and know you're less fortunate or say hello. It was kind of funny. One night there was a big Hollywood thing at Madison Square Garden, and it might have been awards or something. They held them one time there on the 2 years I was there, and I mean they were dressed to the nines, limos everywhere. And I'm sitting there where I sit, which is out the block by Modell Sportswear is where I would sit, and as they passed me, it was kind of funny. They all had this like big dessert, and I guess it was given to them on their way out or while they were there. And first thing you know, one comes up to me and says, "Oh, here you go." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then next thing you know, another one gives it to me. And then I think before they all passed me, I ended up with like 40 of them. So I was like calling all the people, come on, get something, passing them out. But it was kind of comical because there I sat with this big lap full of all these, one started and the next one. It was kind of wonderful, really. Made me feel good. And I thought it was sweet of the people, you know. Yeah, that lady with the started the whole thing about my pink lipstick. Yep, it's Wet and Wild Dollhouse Pink, and it was $2.89. And well, I don't wear it now because I wear a mask, so I've been saving money on it. But um, yeah, I got up and told her off. I did. I was like, I have to climb up if I'm down on the ground. I have to turn over and climb up. And I climbed up and I was like, hey, I might be homeless, but I'm sassy and I'm worthy. I'm worthy of God's love, and Jesus died for my sins so that I may have everlasting life. So don't go there with me. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's funny because Natalie and her mother, who are so wonderful, she's a young girl that sings, I met while I was in New York. And she brought me 2 shades of pink lipstick, and then people started bringing me pink lipstick, and it got through this, really started the pink lipstick thing. It was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, a block away was Planet Fitness, and I showered there, and I bought clothes every week, you know, and to have clean ones and to change them, and for them to be more comfortable in the weather. And I mean, what do you want from me? I'm laying on cardboard. I might be hungry tomorrow. I mean, come on. It's like people don't have a clue. And I want to say this too while I'm thinking of it is I love animals, and I was raised, we always had dogs, and I had cats later. I had a sister that had a monkey, friends that had an orangutan. We used to walk them, and she would dress him up like a little boy, and me and my sister would walk him, and he would pick through her hair. It was hilarious. And, I'm an animal lover. But the only concern I have, and I mean, thank you. Yes, yes, by God's grace, I am worthy. And I'm thankful for that. And, you know, I I see all these animal things, and it's great to dress them up and spend all the money you want, get them dolled up, treat them like your babies, that's fine. A lot of people, they are their children. But on the other hand, someone had made a comment on the other night about the pets and loving pets. And I said, you know what? I'm all for that, 100%. I said, but how about let's make this the year of humanity? Can we love men and women? Some of them have suffered where no one will ever suffer what some of them have been through. Some of them can't take care of themselves, don't know any better. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know this. I taught some of them, I promise you, to hold their head high and to do the best they could. And there are a lot of good people out there for the wrong reasons. A lot of people have been screwed in this country by insurance companies, by bad cops. A lot of people have been royally screwed in this country. And they will try to make them look bad. It's like, no, it's not like that. Life's not always as it seems. It's a hoot. But it's interesting. Life's interesting. Um, you know, what does the scripture in the Bible say? The last will be first, and the first will be last. I write that in sometimes on my video. Oh, sorry, Jake. But yeah, sometimes you just have to. Oh, that monkey story. Oh yeah. Her name was Elsie. She was a German lady, and she was our neighbor. And she had, I guess he was an orangutan, kind of like Clyde in Clint Eastwood movie. And she would dress him in little shorts and a little bow tie and a hat. And me and my sister would take him by the hand. We were maybe 7, 6, 7 at the time, and we would walk him. And they, all her poodles had. She made them little bassinets, wooden crates. They all had their own beds with their names on and big pillows. And oh, she was fabulous with animals. She had no children. She was fabulous. But yeah, the monkey. My sister has olive complexion and jet black hair, and he always go through her head. We crack up, but he didn't do it to me. It was kind of funny. But yeah, I love animals, and but I think this needs to be a year that we can't leave people out. It's a year for humanity, human beings. Um, I saw old women, and I mean 70s, maybe older, with one leg in a wheelchair, homeless on the street. I knew a guy named Larry. He had both legs taken off from diabetes on the street. I mean, I had a very good friend that was a vet, a Vietnam veteran. And he said to me, took him a long time to get to know me, probably a year or two before he told me. But he said to me, he's an alcoholic. And he said to me, you know what? When I came back from Vietnam, especially California, apparently, he said, I was called baby killer, murderer. That messed them up so bad. They had to do what they had to do. War is horrible and nobody wanted it. And it was awful. But, you know, just browbeat them when they get back. And they're lucky if they got back for sure. Uh, I don't know. I have 4 sisters. My brother, unfortunately, is deceased. I'm the youngest of 6. Um, my family, I won't elaborate. People have asked me for years about it. I'm not going to elaborate on that, but I will say we were taught at a young age. I started working at 16, that if you want something, you work for it, you pay for it, and you take care of yourself. And I pretty much worked a lot, and Everything I had, I bought it. I paid for it, and I don't want to go there. Um, it's just not a good idea for anybody. And look at Solomon in the Bible. His family sold him into slavery. But when they sold him into slavery, they liked him and they favored him and they took care of him. And he exceeded, but he still loved them, knowing what they had done to him, and he forgave them. And it's, you know, I'm good with God and that. I'm in Jesus. I'm real good. So I always, when people ask me about that, I say it like that. I say, I know my heart's in the right place because you know what? I'm a judge of no one. Who knows what's going on in someone's mind or life, or, I just, um, oh, yeah. And, hey, if it were the other way around, if my siblings were homeless, I don't care if I had to sleep on the floor. Believe me, my siblings would have never spent a night on the street. But it's the hard side of life is, and I learned this song, and I tell you it's true. You can't make somebody love you if they don't. And that's just the reality of it. And I play that song in my head over and over and over. No, I agree. I'm like you, Nana. I believe we should help and help them get up. But I'm saying for you can't make somebody do what you're willing to do or what I'm willing to do. We can't make other people feel that way. And yet it took me a long time to accept that. But you cannot make somebody love you if they don't. That's just, they'll say it. And to me, that's the worst traitor in the world. It's like betraying Jesus Christ, is to tell someone you love them when your actions show nothing of the word. To me, that is like the ultimate no-no. I think that's the worst thing, But I have been detoxing a lot of pain. I'm still, believe me, I have my crying jags. I have my moments where I cry so hard I can't get my breath. And it's from me letting go of the last 7.5 years. But you're right, people fall down. It doesn't matter how many times you fall down, just get up. Just get up. I tried to lead a good example, and I really did. I will say one thing about the homeless of San Diego. Everybody liked me from everywhere. I think I've had 2 arguments in 5.5 years there. I was really well liked. I really was, and they knew that I felt for them. They knew I had a heart for their situation. And I was very fortunate. But I'm, well, no, I think it was God that did that for me. All glory and honor to God Almighty, the highest. But I know it's because I turned to Him that. And I remember talking to a rabbi. I would sit by the mall and read the Bible, and a rabbi was having some function for Shavuot at the Westfield Mall, and I went over and talked to him a few minutes, and he said to me, he said, he said, Brenda, maybe your lawsuit's not moving forward because you have to forgive the bus driver. And I said, I know that. I do have to forgive the bus driver. I said, and I will. And oh, thank you. And I did. It took about 2 years, but I did forgive the bus driver, you know, and you do have to do that. And I did. But I had took this young lawyer that was recommended to me, and I was so devastated because when I got injured on that bus, I had been biking 10 miles a day, doing the 100 steps morning and evening. And, I was a size 10. I was 53. I've always been athletic and movable. And when I found out I couldn't rotate, I'd never ride a bike again. I'd never uh, run, walk fast, even not have difficulty. And it just devastated me like, oof. No, my foot didn't get stuck. The bus was over here and I was standing here. And when the bus stopped and the door opened, I stepped into the bus. And I hold the yellow handle getting into the bus. But as I did that, a man exited the back of the bus. So the driver was looking back, saying goodbye to him. And he went to move the door because he didn't realize I stepped into the bus. And my brain was just getting ready to say, let go of the door. But because he moved it, it knocked me down. I fell on my right side. I didn't hit my head on anything. I'm not injured yet. But as I start to come up, he floors the gas and moves the bus. The door's open because my leg swung across and hit the steel door of the bus, but foot and uh, my foot's out so the door's open. But yeah, it was and he wanted to leave. He not only moved the bus, he wanted to leave. And I said, I need an ambulance. I'm hurt. I had a hematoma about the size of a dime. But the pain, because there's no padding and muscle there, the pain was just excruciating. When the paramedics came, they said my blood pressure was stroke range. And it's honest to God, this is a true story because this won't be in my book. I don't talk much about the accident. And when the paramedics said that, I could feel that it was. They say you can't feel it. Oh, I could feel it. And he blew up a little plastic pillow, and I laid back and I said, I'm going to meditate. And I used to go to the water and meditate. And I meditated, and so help me God, this is true. I was a bear. I was in a nice river on a beautiful sunny day, and I was salmon fishing, but I was only from the waist up in the water. I guess your mind lets you let go of the injured part. And it was a beautiful sunny day. The stream was just going at a nice pace, and the fish were jumping, and I was salmon fishing. I'm a bear. And the paramedic said to me, he said, hey. I said, yeah. And he said, how did you do that? And I said, what? And he goes, you just gave me a regular blood pressure reading. And I said, well, I meditated. And I've never meditated that well since or before that. But that's how the mind works. I guess it takes over. Oh, hi. Oh, God just guided me to your visit. Aw, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, God is so good. I'm so grateful. So grateful to have been in my apartment before COVID really hit. That's overwhelms me sometimes, how grateful I am for that. Truly blessed, yeah. But I go on and on and on anyway, so yeah, no, my foot didn't get stuck. I walked right into the bus. It's just that idiot driver didn't look the front. He didn't check the front before he took off. He said goodbye to whoever left out the back, and he didn't even realize I got on the. It's like I'm here. Yeah, it's just a terrible driver. And my guess is they didn't call the police, which they're supposed to do. They should have had a supervisor come down, fill out a report. They didn't. He went on as if nothing had happened. So I thought because of the way he acted and was handling this, that he probably had prior uh, driving problems. It had something to do with him because That bus, someone that worked for MTS Transit told me she knows because her husband worked in the yard. And she said that bus wasn't supposed to be out of the yard. It wasn't supposed to be on the road. And that's true because I think it was in 1998, I believe, that the law was made that the buses had to put the rubber. You know how the two doors come together? They had to put that rubber there. Well, this door had no rubber. It was pure graded steel. I was on the floor of pure graded steel, like roller line, like silver with yellow paint. And anyway, it was it was a big case, and they tried to force me. She lied to me about mediation. They tried to force me into signing papers. I didn't. They tried to force me into, but I never did sign anything. The judge said, I agree with you, Miss Frankel. He said, I'm going to dismiss this case without prejudice. He said, I see your injuries. You have every right to sue. And then that was kind of how it ended. Anyway, oh, it was definitely the driver's fault. Everybody agreed with that. I mean, but the lawyer got paid off. We went to trial readiness hearing. If anybody understands anything about the law, trial readiness hearing is when you're going to discuss trial. They wanted bench trial because they didn't want anyone there but the judge and him. Well, I wanted jury trial. I wanted him to hear what happened. They're a $1 billion company. And what did they give me? A disabled bus pass because they disabled me. $18 disabled bus pass. But anyway, the lawyer, I said to the judge when we went to the trial readiness, she's telling me now she wants out because if she would have went further, she would have got caught committing legal malpractice, number one. Number two, she didn't have any discovery on the defendant. So what's that tell you? She wasn't working for me. She was working for them. Ah, 1 and 1 is 2, right? Oh, it just drives me crazy sometimes. I try not to even think about that because it was very unjust. But let me tell you something. Let my story be a lesson to all people because I'm going to tell you something. I don't care if you have full coverage, how much insurance you pay. If you're poor, you're not going to get a settlement. You better use your cell phone. You better use every camera you got. You better carry extra cameras because it's so crooked. If your name is big or if you're known or if you have money, you'll get paid. Insurance companies get rich off of all of us that get hurt and don't get paid. If I had a microphone and could speak in a city and say, I want everybody to call me at 10 o'clock, 10:01, 10:02, 10:03, they've been screwed by an insurance company. The numbers would be, we'd crash the system. So just know it all looks good when you're signing and paying, putting your down payment for full coverage or liability, whatever you want. But trust me, when something happens to you, you're not getting anything. Good luck. Good luck. And it's all crock. It is so phony. But yeah, they were telling me, move to LA County, get out of San Diego County. My case, all right, if you go to San Diego or Google, say Superior Court, San Diego, then you will say civil suit 2012. Okay. And then you will say filed by Brenda Sprankle and case number 000097345. You'll see my case right there. You'll see everything about it. It's still there. It's still there. You can still see it. Yep. Oh, yeah. Insurance companies, banks, insurance companies are the most legal crooks in the entire earth. Yes. most definitely. I remember in New York, talking one time to a guy, I believe he was from Portugal, and he said to me, "You know what we don't like about the United States?" And I said, "No, what's that?" Because I do love the United States. And I said, "No, what's that?" And he said, "Social Security," which they're a bunch of crooks, and they ripped me off big time. And he said, HMOs, he said, they're trying to get us to go to them in our country. He said, we don't want them. He said, we don't want Social Security. We don't want HMOs like the United States has. He said, we're fighting that. I would have never known that if he hadn't told me that. But yeah, it's Social Security. If you go to their website and you're a clicker or you really have time, which now everybody pretty much does, it will answer every question. And without a shadow of a doubt, when I applied in 2012 for Social Security disability, it was 1 year and 3 months after my injury. I was told it was permanent, which it is. It's been permanent ever since. I'll die with it. I went to the office on First Avenue to the window girl. You know, you get a number and the girl calls you up. And I said to her, "My name's Brenda Sprankle." I said, "I applied for SSDI a few days ago on the computer. Do I qualify?" She said, "I have to ask you two questions." She said, "Do you have your 40 quarters in?" I said, "I've had them in a long time ago. It's quite easy to get your 40 quarters." And I said, "I've had them in a long time." She said, "Second question, have you worked 5 of the last 10 years?" And I said, "Well, I got laid off at the post office in 2005, and I moved away in 2006, but I worked for temporary agencies, sometimes two temporary agencies, so I would constantly have work. I think I might have, but I'm not sure." And she said, "Well, I could tell you, I'm Social Security." She typed, she looked up, and she said, "Yes, you do qualify." Without a shadow of a doubt, SSDI is my money. I paid half, the employer paid half. They were not allowed to deny me in their own words, and yet they did. So I shouldn't have been homeless from 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Do the math. In their own words on their website, in the law, which they're Title 42. I went to the law library. I went to the regular library. I studied Title 42. There are 3 books of Social Security. I studied my case for 6 months. Without a shadow of a doubt, I shouldn't have been out there for 6 years. So there you go. Oh no, it's not they always deny you the first time. That don't matter. It was after that when I got the hearing with the administrative law judge. The lawyer would not apply for SSDI. She only did SSI. Philadelphia office told me myself, any lawyer that knew I had a SSDI case that I applied for in 2012 was to carry that on further and further and further. So it's not called unfair. It's called crooked. Crooked. It's crooked. When you deny someone their rights, it's like how people get out of prison or jail on a technicality. It's like, well, his lawyer forgot to do this. His lawyer didn't do that. The only ones a lawyer care about is their self. They don't care about their clients. It's what's in it for them. I guarantee you my lawyer in California got paid off real good for MTS, Melissa DeLeon. And I don't want to get angry. I don't want to get angry. Because anger is not from the Lord, you know. But vengeance is, hey, you can take up my vengeance any day of the week. I'd be real happy about that. That's his. And I know he'll take care of it. Oh, hey, Sanjum Jot. Yeah, change the subject. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I have a nice bed to sleep in. You know, I can cook. I like to cook. I'm a good cook. And I've sent a few people, I've had two people write me from to my post office box, and I've sent them some recipes. I write a lady in Arizona, and I write and talk to a good friend in Utah. And I just talked to Mark the other day, though. Very sad to say that his mother passed away. So right now is a really tough time for Mark. If any of you are familiar with him, or you might want to send a little word or something. But it's very I know that was the worst for me. So he's going through a very difficult time. I really feel for him. He's a very nice person. I never knew of him or his organization till he approached me in Manhattan and said, "Hi, we can talk a few minutes." And then, by the way, can I tape your story? And I was like, "Sure, go right ahead." Oh, thank you. That's so beautiful. Thank you. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Will has a lot to do with it, my dear. Just stay strong, 'cause I know you are. Good things can happen. Jesus is a healer. Oh, of course. I feel it. I feel it. I do feel it. Thank you. Yeah, I love heart gifts. They're the best kind. Yeah. But I've been on here quite a while, I think. Wow, an hour and 6 minutes. I've never done that before. Anybody like my hair? Kind of a funny question, but I don't know. Maybe Evelyn left. I don't know. I Some new ones came on and some others left, I guess. Oh yeah, I'm still working on my book. Um, I'm ready to type it all up, but then I have to decide. I'm not going to do Kindle. I want a printed book. Um, then I have to decide after it's printed. I have to send the first print to the Library of Congress and get it registered. I want to do that, and then I would be able to start printing it and selling it. Um, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it was dark. It was medium brown, and I just used to wear it that way years ago. And I thought, oh, let me do something different. I tie dyed clothes, and then I tie dyed myself. Oh, God bless you guys. Love you. And watch Carol Burnett, and watch some Doris Day movies, Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin. I mean, I just love watching them on a Sunday afternoon after church. I just really enjoy sitting back and watching movies from the good days when Hollywood was so glamorous and so beautiful and life was simple. Anyway, love to all of you, and um, I'm going to wrap it up in about 10 minutes. I'm getting tired. Oh, well, thank you. Thanks so much. You like my hair. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, the book, it's more than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's easy to portray it, but it's all the other stuff you have to do to put it together. But I'm hoping August or September, I'm really hoping. I really have to push myself, but I'm ready to type it all. It's all handwritten. And there's a few things in here that I could still add in, but I'll just type them in. I'm ready to start typing it up. Yeah, good work, Jane. I mean, I think it'll be very interesting. Probably unexpected in a lot of ways, from what people might think of homeless people or something. So I appreciate that very much. You take care. You relax. Love you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just the other day, I think I heard from someone from Indonesia, Sweden. Someone sent me 7 cases of Iceland bottled water. I mean, it was like the sweetest thing ever. Thank you. You have a good night and sleep well too. God bless. And that was just the sweetest thing ever, and it was kind of like maybe when this thing broke or something. So maybe they were thinking maybe I couldn't get out and get any. So that was really a blessing, really kind. But yeah, I'm getting really tired. I don't know. I guess everybody might be. I don't know. Yeah, there's good people in this world. Amen. Amen. Yeah. And when you talk about the Bible and in scripture, you know, and I think of it like this too. God says we will know one another, and I believe that. He says, my people will know one another, and I believe that. I truly, well, I mean, it is true. Everything he says is true. I would never question him, my savior. But amen. Everybody have a safe evening. And my favorite Bible verse, well, that's a good one. Psalms is such a great book, and it talks about the poor so much. I love so many the Psalms, but favorite. I'd have to think a few minutes about that. But oh yeah, we were gonna. Oh, okay. We were gonna decide. I'll come on again, and then we'll decide about picking a time to have a Bible study. A real, sit down and read scripture and have a Bible study. I think we need to do that and keep each other up and closer to that way, not that way. Yeah, we want to go that way. But oh, Romans 8:37. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I know 100%. That's right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was funny, but look at that. I was looking at that. Do you see that bright, like the reflection of the light, or I don't know. Can you see above the door and above the picture? It looks almost like there's bright light over there. That's for sure. Kind of neat. But God bless you guys. And I'll next time I talk to you, I'll tell you what my favorite scripture is because I offhand see I read them and I read them, but they don't stick. And then I read them again. Kind of how I watch a movie. Some people watch a movie and they'll say, "Oh, remember this part and that line and that line." I'm like, I just watch it. Good night. God bless you too. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get off here. I'm beat. And everybody take care. And we'll talk next time about a Bible study. And I'll give you my favorite scripture. God bless you all. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. You can't read them too many times. That's the most famous book in the entire world. The most bought, the most read. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And it's light. It draws us from the dark. It gives us, I said to God when uh, sometime after I got injured, and I said, I surrender, Lord. I don't, I'm just here. I'm just me. I'm nothing, got a problem, and I said, I want living water. I just need living water. I want the light. And believe me, he gave it to me. People could see it. They would comment on it. And it was the light. I need the light. All right. Yeah. Good night to everybody. God bless you, Nana. Good night to you. Stay well. Praying for your good health. Thank you. All right. Good night, everybody. And signing off here. But we'll have fun too, and just, pray to God that things stay well for everybody and that we see the light. Just always go towards the light. How do you get there? You just stick with the light. So good night, guys. I forget how to even do this. Oh, yeah, end stream. Bye.